Hello everyone. Hi Nina, how are you?
I'm really well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh no, thank you for being here. We are so glad to be with you in here. For those who doesn't know about Impact Project, we basically are on social media sharing information about environmental issues and now we are talking about slow fashion. And maybe Nina, if you want to start talking about what is slow fashion, you might be better than me to explain.
Sure. So slow fashion, well, it's kind of the opposite of fast fashion, in a sentence. But really, it's about engaging with clothes, whether you're buying, wearing, or making. Engaging with clothing in a way that is better for the environment. Is not about purely about profits, where you're just making as much as you can.
Hmm.
Engaging the environment, the people making the clothes, and making the clothes that are better quality as well, that actually end up lasting longer than fast fashion, where clothes are made to be disposable, and used over a short period of time, basically trends.
Hmm.
So that's a very long-winded explanation, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
So essentially, slow fashion is making better quality clothes that are kinder to the environment and kinder to people that make the clothes and also people that wear the
Hmm. Cool. Good explanation. So I've just done some questions for you. It's gonna be an interview. Maybe if you wanna start introducing yourself first.
clothes. So I am Nina Gabor. I guess I'm sort of commonly known as an eco stylist,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm also a speaker, a writer, and I host events around ethical and sustainable fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing that for many years now. And for me, it's a purpose as well as a life mission.
Cool. Amazing. Are you from here? Are from Melbourne? Or?
No, I am from many places. So I'm originally Nigerian. I grew up in the States.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I lived in Nigeria and I lived in the UK, where I studied, lived, and worked for a long
Mm.
time until I moved to the Maryland of Oz about 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. So how does Eco Styles were born? How did you decide to start it?
It sort of started organically. Like I didn't um actually, well, my eco styling career, I should say, although it's called eco styles now, but I when I was about 15, we lived in Nigeria at the time, and I stumbled across an op shop.
Mm.
So my mother had been op shopping since I was a child with us, but this was the first time where I engaged in an op shop on my own, as choosing my own style. And that was because growing up, we used to watch classic films, from
Mm-hmm.
the 50s and 60s, with style icons like Audrey Hepburn and, Grace Kelly. You can see, Audrey Hepburn in the back. For those
Yes, I can see it.
so, that for me represented what style was. And I just loved the style of that era. It was really powerful to me. So going into the op shop at age 15, it were clothes that was imported from other countries in the global north. And they had vintage and they also had trendy clothes. And I was just mixing up the vintage and the trendy clothes and creating my own unique look. And I didn't know at
Mm-hmm.
the time that that was the birth of my career. For me, I was just a teenager having fun. But what was amazing, how like we have the pressure in high school to conform to the trends and be like everybody else. For
Yeah.
me, it gives me an outlet to really express myself and create my own unique individual look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People ended up loving, because it was different, and yeah, that's kind of how it started and continued and became the career that it is now.
That's
So,
awesome. And it is unique. Like the way
Thank
that
you.
you wear your clothes, and
Mhm.
awesome.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
I appreciate that.
Um,
Thank you very much.
sorry, what did you say?
No, I said I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's all right. So, what is your relationship with environment? Like, why did you start like doing slow fashion and?
So my relationship with the environment didn't necessarily start with clothing. I've always cared
Mhm,
about, separate from when I was young and I was really into style, but separate from that, I've always cared about the environment. And since I was about 8 years old,
mhm,
um, in school we had a lesson on sustainability, the environment, climate change. And I remember being devastated, absolutely devastated, that our trash and what we were doing was damaging the earth, polluting the environment. And um, it was funny because it was a lesson in school, and they told us, and this was in the U.S., and they showed us, we saw videos and images of things that could happen and projections around climate change in the future, and they also showed us this country continent on the globe. We had this big, those big globes you have like in school?
mhm.
And they showed us this country continent called Australia, right? And they were like, Australia has a hole or had a hole over the ozone layer.
Yeah.
Um, and the sun they told us about the rays of the sun hitting the earth there. And I remember myself and a few of the kids in class were like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I'm never going there. That's going to, I would never go to Australia. And it's funny because where did I end up? I ended up
Yes.
being an eco warrior in Australia of all places. So no, it's great though. I love it. But yeah, my whole life I've always been concerned about the environment and um, you know, the fact that we plunder the earth, we pillage the earth so
Mhm,
much just
mhm,
to make products that
mhm.
we are disposable, that we either use once or we don't use at all, and we throw
Yeah.
away, and the impact that that's having on animals and basically non-human existence, including plants and trees, um, basically issues like deforestation. So that's always concerned me a lot. But because now I work specifically kind of in the sustainable fashion sector or industry, it sort of gets channeled through there. My concerns about the environment gets channeled through there. But yeah, definitely that's an area that I focus on a lot, particularly climate change within my
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
So it was just a question that is in my mind now. It wasn't in the script. So, where do you buy your clothes here in Melbourne?
In Melbourne, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
anywhere and everywhere they sell vintage and pre-loved clothes, I'm there. So,
Yeah.
um, do you mean like specific shops or just in general? Um,
Okay.
okay, well, I'll just go in general. So, op shops are a big thing for me, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Um, and markets, like I love markets, like pre-loved
Mhm.
markets, vintage markets.
Mhm.
Um, and clothes swaps. I used to host for over 10 years. I've been hosting clothes swaps since I lived in the UK. So clothes swaps
Mhm.
have been a big, big part of my life, although I haven't hosted any in the last couple of years because of the pandemic. But clothes swaps are a great way to get fantastic clothes.
Yeah.
And just, online, things online platforms as well.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't have one particular place. It's just a lot of different places. But primarily, my wardrobe is pre-loved, and out of that pre-loved, a good portion of it is vintage. So, like
Mhm.
from the 50s and the 60s and the 40s as well.
Cool. That's awesome. So the last question is, what actions do you take as an activist?
Um, just anything that's presented in front of me. So I write articles a lot,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I think that for a couple of platforms,
Mhm.
including my own eco styles. So I write articles and I try to bring out principles or ideas or facts or information that's not sort of commonly known. That's not areas within the sustainable fashion industry that if we looked at, would help make more of a difference in terms of positive change, as
Mhm.
opposed to things that kind of people already know.
Mhm.
Because one thing with our sectors, sustainability, particularly sustainable fashion, is that a lot of us are already on converted to the knowledge, the idea that we need to create change in this industry.
Yes.
So, and there's a lot of consumer action, but I feel like we need to also look at other areas like legislation, and laws, international laws that will help
Mhm.
really just come full circle, whether they're environmental laws or whether they're trade laws.
Mhm.
So I try to write about areas that people don't commonly talk about that I feel if we collectively addressed would make a
Yes.
bigger difference with turning the tide and changing the status quo.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah.
Okay. And where can we find your articles to read?
You can find it on my platform, Eco Styles. I also write for the Wardrobe Crisis.
Mhm.
Is a platform owned and run by Clear Press. But I also do a lot of speaking events. So I
Okay.
speak with council, schools. I do a lot of events with schools and libraries, businesses,
Mhm.
just wherever people are open to learning about sustainable fashion.
Mhm.
And I style, right? Because I feel like my wardrobe is quite eccentric. If you ever look at it, it's pretty different. It's mixed like with 50s style with modern style. It's just I don't know how to define it, but
Yeah.
I love bright colors, as you know, right? I love
Uh-huh.
a variety of colors. So for me, even though for me that's a way for me to express myself
Mhm.
through my style, I discovered that people always want to come and ask me questions about my outfit, either where I got it from or how I put it together. And that's
Mhm.
such an opportunity for me to talk about sustainable issues, issues within the fashion industry.
Mhm.
So just me wearing the clothes that I wear in itself is a way
Mhm.
for me to send a message and engage people on these issues. So I just feel
Yeah.
very fortunate to be able to do
Yeah. Cool.
that.
Amazing. All right. Do you want to talk about more anything, or do you want to
I'm
talk?
happy. I'm happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Sorry.
I'm happy to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay. So you said you are you run the world, what is that, the water crisis?
No, I said it's owned and run by Clear Press. I
Okay.
write articles, yeah, I write articles for the platform,
Oh, for them. All right. Okay.
and I
I'm
do
just
podcasts.
checking the Instagram here.
And I've done a podcast on there interviewing an environmental economist
Mhm.
about how we can bring changes like an alternative system
Mhm.
um, to fashion when it comes to um, the capitalism of fashion, if you will. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
a very good platform, and I recommend you check it out if you haven't already checked it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna for sure. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm just gonna follow them and
Yeah.
cool. Amazing. All right, thank you very much, Nina. It was just a quick chat just to know more about you and about Echo Styles, and I'm so glad to have you here. And thank you very much for your time. That was really
Well,
great, and thank you very much.
well, thank you so much for having me. This was fantastic.
Yeah, I hope we can meet somewhere.
Absolutely. We're both in Melbourne, so we need to make it happen.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, Nina.
You're
Thank
absolutely welcome.
you.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. You too. Bye.